My ex-husband wanted the recipe for his favorite potato soup, but I told him that is a wifey privilege which you no longer enjoy. So instead I decided to make my ex-husband's favorite potato soup for my sexy upgrade. And of course, if you're making potato soup, you must make sourdough breadsticks to dip in the soup. So I took my Mormon sourdough start, which I call my Mormon sourdough start because I've had it since I was Mormon and it was given to me by Mormons, and I'm using it to make a very Mormon-y recipe. And I got started on the breadsticks, and while the dough did its thing, I threw together this amazingly simple yet delicious soup. This soup is triggering in many ways, not just because it was my ex-husband's favorite recipe, but because it's also the recipe that I would usually whip up whenever somebody from the church called and told me that I must make dinner for somebody else, people who had been in car accidents or had babies or whatever. Because within my religious community, it wasn't enough that I was taking care of my 5 kids and my husband and making food for half the neighbor kids who were at my house and my Cub Scout troops and the young women's class on Wednesday nights. As a female soldier in the Lord's army, I must be ready to cook at the drop of a hat for anybody else who needed any type of food. Not that we don't live in a time with drive-thrus and Uber, but for some reason the culture that I grew up in thought that the only thing that I could ever do was cook. And there's something about being forced to do something that just kind of strips the joy out of it. It was worse than a job. It was an unpaid job, which kept me from doing anything else in life. But then I lost my faith and lost my husband of 24 years when he left me for a 19-year-old escort, by the way. So I no longer have to cook the soup or bake the bread for the husband or the church or anybody that I don't want to. Now my family assumes most of their own cooking tasks, and twice a week I cook for pure joy for people that I actually love. My high school son has dinner night with some of his friends once a week, and it makes my heart smile to warm and feed my little tribe, but only twice a week. By the way, soup, salad, and breadsticks on a chilly night are just one of the most classic, iconic meals that you can possibly eat as a human being. And I honestly might have enjoyed mine a little bit more than normal because I got to tell my ex-husband, no soup for you. This was so good.